Hello and welcome back to the channel. A short video this time as I'm reaching the end of the Space Marine models in my Leviathan box. Aside from a squad of Stern Guard veterans, the rest of the models are character models, so I thought I'd crack on with a few of those as they come on the same sprue, and I'll cover each of those in a short video. This is the Apothecary Biologis model, a Gravis armour-clad Primaris Marine trained to scour the battlefield for Xenos biological samples to learn how to defeat them and the biological weapons. This was a much more detailed model after the Dreadnought, and so I sub-assembled him, keeping his body separate from the base so I could get into the smaller detail on that without the chance of ruining any white paint on the Apothecary. I also separated his arms, head, backpack. Fortunately, this push-fit model was easier to sub-assemble, with pegs for the arms to fit onto rather than integrated into the upper torso like some of the previous models. Another model, another disaster. This time it was at the priming stage. I sprayed him up in grey sear, and I don't know what happened, but the finish over some parts was really bubbly and uneven, so he had to take an early bath in some isopropyl alcohol to get stripped back to bare plastic again. The next attempt at priming though worked, so I was able to crack on with the painting. I tried to keep the layers as thin as possible, as my experience painting white or off-white so far has been a battle against ending up with a chalky finish. That said, the coverage of the Ilthorn grey was pretty good. The tabard is Mephiston red with some Agrax Earthshade and some highlights first using Evil Sun Scarlet. I followed that up with a smaller highlight of Wild Rider red, which was recommended to me by my local hobby store Loaded Dice, instead of the Troll Slayer orange which I've used in the past. It was fun getting into the smaller details like the apothecary symbols on the leg plate and helmet, and also the various cables and bits of piping around his suit. I wasn't sure how to tackle a sample canister. I thought about adding a different metallic colour, but felt it didn't really add to the model. For the glass area on the canister, I used a base of white scouse and frost art contrast applied heavily over the top, and then finished it off with some hardcoat gloss varnish to give it a reflective finish. I also applied hardcoat to his gauntlet screen and screen on the back of his belt. When I started this model, I had thought about switching the colours and going red with white trim to make his Blood Angel's identity more prominent, but I'm glad I kept with the all-white scheme with the red detail, as it really makes him stand out against the rest of my Blood Angels army. Next up is another character model. Lots of small detail again, but until then, thanks for watching.